Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look at KuCoin, see what's going on with it, and obviously identify a quick correlation between Bitcoin and KuCoin. So take a look at this chart here. You can see the 4-hour here, and we go right on over to Bitcoin. Does that not look like a mirror image to you? I don't know, it looks the exact same to me. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin first, see what's going on there, and work our way down. All right, so first of all, with Bitcoin, we're testing the 200-day 7 moving average on the 1-day chart. This is a good sign in the sense that it's holding. Not great that it's testing because it's unfortunate that it's happening. We'd like the price action to be much higher and that moving average to be lower, of course. But the key takeaway here is that Bitcoin's seeing some progress here today in the last 12 hours. Keep in mind it's Saturday. Everyone's feeling good. They just got paid. Okay, I wouldn't say everyone's feeling good, but for the most part, you typically feel better on the weekends, right? And the whales are pretty much non-existent on Saturdays. So you can expect a decent amount of pressure to be lifted today, but just note tomorrow, whales are back in business and it could be a very different story. We also have news on Tuesday, of course, and we got to see if we get a CME gap as well on Monday. If we gaps up, that might be a good sign. There's a handful of different things that could factor in, but the 200 is holding strong there. But just note, pretty much every other moving average is working as a resistance level presently. So keep that in mind. So try not to get too ahead of yourself here. Bitcoin is probably going to stabilize right around 48,000 as it has so far. And I would say that we might expect that over the next couple weeks, perhaps even a little bit longer based on the simple fact we got a lot of news coming out early next year as well. So there's a lot of things going on we just got to be mindful of. Okay. Now how that ties into KuCoin is pretty obvious. I think we've already identified that. But simply put, it's very much synonymous here. Now we got this death cross occurring right now as well on the 4-hour chart, which isn't super important based on the fact that Bitcoin's pretty much calling the shots, so that moving average is kind of almost irrelevant. But if we look at the 1-day chart here, we can see that we are kind of trending below this previous all-time high, which is effectively a resistance level now. So I'd say 58 cents is a resistance level we need to focus on breaking soon. We've got a support level still at 53, so I would speculate we're going to see between 53 to 58 cents over the next couple of days. From KuCoin, nothing crazy, nothing amazing, I guess you could say. We shouldn't expect a breakout in the near future either, just based on the fact that it is completely synonymous with Bitcoin. Until Bitcoin has stability and the fear index is much higher, or less low, if you will, then we're going to be in much better shape to see KuCoin take off. That's just the bottom line. But for right now, ultimately, not good, not bad. It is what it is. Okay, you're going to hear me say that a lot. I would say in most of my videos here today, because a lot of coins have aligned themselves with this. Even some of the really good, profitable coins, those are still they're still having a lot of those knee-jerk reactions when Bitcoin sells off or Bitcoin increases. So I would just say become a Bitcoin professional right now, and you can pretty much understand what's going to happen with your altcoins. Okay, it's probably controlling about 90% of the market right now. So just note that. All right, let's go ahead and look at some key level indicators. Call it a day. Looking at the 4-hour here. We can see we had a MACD convergence here recently, of course, but we're seeing that in a lot of coins. So I wouldn't, again, read into that per se. Until we break this plane here, this resistance of about 58 cents, we're not going to see much at all from KuCoin. Also, we can see that that RSI at 50 is holding as a resistance. That is essentially the same price point at 58 cents. So just note that 58's kind of reaffirming itself as a strong resistance level. And we can see it hasn't been able to break that plane. Yes, it broke it, but it couldn't close above for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, about 24 to 48 hours. We'll just put it that way. So KuCoin's having trouble breaking that level. Makes sense considering what's happened in the market, of course, but just note that's what's going on. Let's take a quick look at the cloud. I'm sure we're going to be able to see that we have bearish. So we are, okay, it's trying to break free. So it could very well break above the cloud. Just note, until it can close above, I would say if nothing else, for at least 4 hours above the cloud, then we're not free of that yet, okay? Because keep in mind, both levels of the cloud are considered resistances right now. So until it can break above right here, essentially, we're not going to be in a position where we're going to be able to see it continue. Bear in mind, if we break that resistance and we close above, and Bitcoin goes south, and Bitcoin sells off by 5%, which has been doing a lot lately, yeah, I don't think Crow is going to hold very long. Okay, so again, all the more reason why I like to reaffirm the codependency on Bitcoin right now. But just note that once we break above the cloud and we have this conversion line, which is above right now, and the lagging span break free of this price, we're going to be in pretty good shape in that sense on the short term to possibly see a continuation. Okay, so the micro looks good, and bear in mind the micro looks good on every market right now because Bitcoin looks good. Okay, so understand that Bitcoin is controlling everything for the most part, and it's seen a nice 12 hours of continuation of the upside, and that's just causing this little ripple effect in most other altcoins. So try not to get ahead of yourself. Okay, if Bitcoin cannot break the plane here again of this Ishimoku cloud and see some other factors that are positive, then we're not going to see much in the way of KuCoin. Okay, so again, I do believe that KuCoin has tremendous potential in the long run. There's no doubt about that. So continue to dollar cost average. There's no reason not to. If you can afford it, do it. Just don't put your entire bag in right now, because 58 cents could become 53 and or lower for KuCoin, and we're going to be in a position where we wish we'd saved our money. And that's just how cryptocurrency is, right? It's all about trying to add in at the best possible point. And the best professionals, I've had the most success personally, not calling myself professional, but in the last 15 years, I've learned a thing or two, right? And in that time, I can tell you that dollar cost averaging is the best thing you could do for yourself. And what that is just simply put, you're just going to add small percentages to your portfolio as the price gets closer to the point in which you feel comfortable. In other words, we all have different risk tolerances, but for the most part, when a price is kind of hanging out at support or resistance, those might be good places to go ahead and kind of put a little bit in at a time. 5% here, 10% there. It doesn't have to be your whole bag, and then tomorrow it goes down by 10%, and you feel terrible. Don't do that. Easier said than done. I totally get that. If you have money, great. If not, try to prepare and plan on using or setting aside. On average, try to always have 25 to 50% of your overall portfolio available for cases in point like this, right? Don't just transfer money and then immediately invest it. People do that all the time. Transfer money, keep it there, think about it. The market's going to shift. Okay, it's not always static. Anyways, I hope that makes sense to you. And I appreciate you listening here, and I look forward to helping you in perhaps the near future. We'll go ahead and continue to keep a close eye on KuCoin, of course, but I do want you to exercise some caution. Just note that Bitcoin's calling the shots right now. So become a Bitcoin professional, and the rest will follow. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you soon.